Welcome back everyone to another route learning tutorial video. This one is for the Island line, released by Rivet Games. So without further ado, let's get in. Today we are going to be running a class 483 up to Ryde Pier Head, calling at Lake, Sandown, Brading, Ryde St John's Road, Ryde Esplanade and Ryde Pier Head, not calling at Smallbrook Junction. But anyway, let's get into the train and get it set up. So it's quite an easy route to learn off by heart. There's not really much to it. It's quite a bit of pain doing that, isn't it? Oh, there we go, that's to on. And what you need to do is get the reverser. I usually set to forward 2, as you do get more power, so it kind of makes sense. What we're going to do is shut the doors. They should now shut. Now we are ready to depart, so we'll get the brakes off and off we go. The speed at the moment is 15 miles per hour, but it will increase up to 45, indicated by that board, and it will stay at 45 for quite some time. Right, let's go, let's get full speed. So the next station stop is a lake, which I believe is something like 0.8 miles away from Shanklin. But you got to be careful, because at the moment there is a render issue with lakes, and it does take literally the last second till it renders in, so you need to know exactly where it is to help you know where to stop. Yes, the speed is 45. You can see the speedometer down there to our left. Not the best of places to have one, but it's you can just about see it. We're going along here. Round here, and it's soon enough we will be into lake. Got a whistle board coming up here, that's what the W means, so give it a little toot. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is start applying a bit of breakage, just to put in kind of step 1 for now, as we are soon going to be approaching lake. If it even put it in step 2. You can see the platform there, you can see the fences as the render issue there. So we're bringing the speed down and we should come to a nice comfortable stop here at lake. I think that's just rendered in now. The speed limit is still 45 miles per hour, as you can see by what it says in the bottom right. And there's not really any stop markers, but I'm going to go to the end of the platform. You kind of want to be, basically where the entrance is to the station. So I'm going to right to the end, nice and gentle coming into here. Obviously on the island there is actually no proper kind of time you should be at the station, so it doesn't really matter if you're late or anything. Right, here we are at Lake, the next stop will be Sandown. Right now, closing the doors here at Lake, our next station stop will be Sandown. Get the brakes unreleased, let's go. So the speed is still 45 miles per hour. But on the approach to Sandown it will decrease to 15 miles per hour. And Sandown does have the passing loop, so you probably might see another train coming on the other side. I believe the passing points are Sandown and Ryde St John's Road. That's always kind of the places where you seem to pass another train on the game. So you will see a single yellow light coming up. But then the next signal head is also a single yellow, as we do come into Sandown. It's a bit of an odd bump, but it's different. But the coasting board's there, so we now can coast. Give it a little toot at the horn there, or a little whistle, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, unlike other routes, we have a separate brake and power system, so we will have to engage the brake differently to how we would usually. Yeah, put the brakes on just a little, as it will be coming down to 15 miles an hour. They go down to about 15 miles an hour now, and we're coming into Sandown. And we do have a red coloured aspect at the end of the station. So do be aware of that. Don't come in too fast. I mean, you shouldn't be coming in too fast anyway because of the 15 mph speed limit. And you kind of want to stop where that camera is. See that camera there to the left? Try and stop in line with that. Here we are at Sandown. The next stop after this will be Brading. Right now, departing from Sandown, the speed limit will still be 15 miles per hour until we obviously do clear the passover section, and then our next step will be Brading, and it will go up to 45 miles per hour. So we're just about to join back up with the kind of main section of line, and it will go up to 45. And it's a fairly long section over to Brading. Just going to wait until we basically get to that next signal coming up there. You can see it on the right, obviously, for the southbound side. Now once we get past that, we're now going to speed up to 45 miles per hour. Obviously, if you would like to see more route learning tutorials, we do have ones for East Coast Way, the Bakerloo line and the Colne Fast Strecker. But in a couple of them I don't actually have my voice on, so if you would like me to redo them, I sure can. Right, we're now at about 45, probably actually going over it a little bit, so we're going to put a bit of breakage on there. There you go, that's all good now. I think we went up to about 48, which obviously isn't the best. I think we are on a bit of a downhill gradient here. But we carry on. Here is a whistle board coming up. So yet again, we do little blast of the whistle there, lovely. And we continue on, not too far to Brading now. You can start seeing some kind of activity in terms of the houses and all that now popping up. Got another whistle board here. And actually at the end of Brading, platform, the speed will come down to 20 miles per hour, so do bear that in mind. So we're going to be swinging around to the left here, then to the right, and then we'll be coming into Brading. And you will see the 20 speed limit warning board, which is coming up here. But don't think you need to get down to 20 coming into the station, although it's probably the best thing to do. The 20 mile per hour speed board is actually at the end of the platform, on the northern kind of side of it. Right, coming into Brading, you can see it now approaching. Got another whistle board here, there's plenty of them on the route, let's just say that. Right, this is Brading we're coming into now. Which actually kind of seems like it would have a passing loop, but it does not. It's just a single track with the abandoned station there on the right. Now you can see the 20 mile per hour speed board there at the end of the platform. So we're going to stop just under this footbridge here. Seems like the right place to stop. Right, get the doors open, and this is Brading. Our next station stop will be Ryde St John's Road, as we are running fast through Smallbrook Junction. Right, now closing the doors here at Brading. Our next station stop will be Ryde St John's Road. And if you are stopping at Smallbrook Junction, I'll tell you when you should start slowing for it. Here we go. So the speed limit, basically just in a second, is going to be 20 miles per hour. So go at 20 as we do go around this fairly sharpish corner. And then it will go up to 40 miles per hour. And it will remain at 40 miles per hour until Smallbrook Junction, where it will then go down to 30 miles an hour. It's fairly slow along this bit. You can see the 40 mile per hour speed board now approaching. And it's plain cruising in along to Smallbrook Junction. Also, we're not stopping at Smallbrook Junction, but I'll tell you when you should start slowing for it. Right, let's go up to 40 now. Another whistle board, sound the whistle. And off we go. So it's a fairly long stretch between Brading and Smallbrook Junction. I think it's about 2.4 miles. So that's quite a long stretch if you compare it to the other station stops and the distance between them. So on the first time I did do this with no HUD, I was thinking, shouldn't Smallbrook Junction be soon? So I did slow way too early. But now I know where it is, and I'll tell you where you should start slowing down for it. So we do now have another speedboard coming up. This will allow us to go up to 45 miles per hour. In fact, I actually forgot about that. But yeah, we're up to 45 miles per hour now. So we'll stay at 45 until just after Smallbrook Junction. Well, basically the end of Smallbrook Junction platform. Will decrease down to 30 miles per hour. So this is a fairly fast bit of the route, this is. Also a long stretch of the route. So now about 45 miles per hour, just cruising along. I've set it to just coast along now. And I'll give you a few details about the route and all the stations along it. This route is actually 8.5 miles long, and the stations on it are Shanklin, Lake, Sandown, Brading, Smallbrook Junction, Ryde St John's Road, Ryde Esplanade and Ryde Pier Head. So it's a nice little route. And if you didn't know, the Isle of Wight actually used to have quite a sprawling rail network, but since the 60s it's kind of been cut down quite a bit just to this little line here. It used to go all over the place. So as you can see there, we did just have the warning board for the 30 mile per hour limit, and at this point you do want to start slowing for Smallbrook Junction, which is actually just round this corner. But the brakes on this are really good, so don't worry about overshooting or anything. But we're going to go to 30 miles an hour as we do pass through Smallbrook Junction. Now you can see the 30 mile per hour speed board there. You can see the other train there waiting for us on the other side. Now it's only 30 crossing the points, as basically as soon as we get over it will, as you can see there, go straight up to 45 miles per hour. And you do need to be fairly careful here, as one of the checkpoints is basically, when you get onto this track here, it then changes that signal to green. So always be aware of this signal here. So we're now at 45 miles per hour, and it will stay at 45 miles per hour until basically just after Ryde St John's Road station, where it will then decrease to 20 miles per hour as indicated there by that warning board. So we've got a signal there telling us that the signal at the end of Ryde St John's Road station is displaying a red aspect. There's the signal guard in the station. So we'll start bringing it down now for Ryde St John's Road, which is now just approaching now. Right, bringing that down, you can see there the signal at the end of the platform is red. Obviously we already knew that prior because of the signal yeah, further back. Here we are at Ryde St John's Road. So just about here. And our next station stop will be Ryde Esplanade. Now closing the doors here at Ryde St John's Road, our next station stop will be Ryde Esplanade. We're just waiting for that signal to clear, which it has. And the speed limit will basically be 20 miles per hour. Here we are now coming out, and it will remain 20 miles per hour until Ryde Pier Head Station, where it will then decrease down to 15 miles per hour. So we're coming around here, and then we will be entering Ryde Tunnel. And then once we are through Ryde Tunnel, it will be up the kind of incline and into Ryde Esplanade. Do watch your speed here, as it does tend to creep above 20. Yeah, slowly, just about creeps above it. Right, coming into Ryde Tunnel now. And then we'll start heading uphill, up to Ryde Esplanade. It's a very, very narrow tunnel. I'm still taking a look at my speedometer to see if I'm going above 20, but we should actually start decreasing now, as we are going uphill. There's the end of the tunnel there, and it's still 20 miles per hour. Right, now coming into Ryde Esplanade. And I'm going to stop basically at the end of the canopy. Kind of where the kind of wooden planks start. Here we are. Let's get the doors open. This is Ryde Esplanade. The next station will be Ryde Pier Head. Now closing the doors here at Ryde Esplanade. It will be about 200 metres until we reach our final destination at Ryde Pier Head. That's why I was about to say St John's Road there. So it almost looks like they extended the platform for longer trains, but I guess that never really happened. So it's 20 miles per hour onto the pier, and as we do approach Ryde Pier Head, it's going to go down to 15 miles per hour. And I was about to say St John's Road again then. No idea why, but yeah, it is Ryde Pier Head, the next stop. So we're still at 20 miles per hour, and the 15 mile per hour speed limit will come into force on the platform. Basically, you can see the speed board now, just as you're coming in. It needs to be at 15. Right, now coming down to 15. Just a little bit of breakage. There you go, we should be at 15 now, as we now come into Ryde Pier Head. Just a bit of braking. And we'll aim to stop just before the red light. Probably stop where that step is there on the right, you can see it up on the platform. But we have now reached our final destination, which is Ryde Pier Head. Obviously that is it everyone for today's route learning video. Hopefully everyone did enjoy. Obviously links in the description to the Discord server and to the PayPal if you do want to help support the channel. Obviously the more donations we get, the more we can do with this kind of stuff. If you do have any more routes you want to see route learning tutorials on, maybe even redone on a couple of them like Colsnell Fast Strecker, please do let me know in the comments below. But that is it. Thanks for coming in, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Bye everyone and take care.